Alright guys, so check this out. I want to show you something. You guys remember the movie Fallen? With Denzel Washington? Was it John Goodman? Check this out. This is a classic movie right here. 1998, Fallen. Alright? This was about the fallen angels, how they were invisible, and one of the captains or whatever was named Azazel, and he was in New York or whatever, and he was moving through the people, through the masses, and some detectives one detective caught a clue. He caught the spirit and understood he wasn't dealing with flesh and blood. He was dealing with fallen angels in dark places and high places and dark forces in high places and principalities. Ephesians 6. Alright, so check this out. What I want to show you is this report right here. This report, this old woman was under the hospice caretakers, under their authority. Alright, and what happened was the caretaker called the cops on her and said she was out of control, and they need to come and get her out of here, right? So listen to me, check this out. Now in the movie Fallen, the fallen angel would pass through people by touch, and what he would do is, whoever his victim was, he would use them as a bridge to his next victim, and he would use the people around them to torment them before he kills them. And it's weird. So check this out. So what happened is the cops came to this house of this old lady. And I guess it's her house because it's hospice, and hospice would be in-house, I guess, in your house. So the caretaker is telling the cops, called the cops and told them to come take her out of there. So what happens is the cops get there, and the cops, the lady dispatch asked, is there any weapons in the house when they talked to the lady, because the lady was like, do you feel safe? She said no. She said, is there any weapons in the house? She said yeah. So then they sent over the cops. So then the cop gets there and he sees the lady laying in the hospital bed in the house, and the old man is a caretaker, and he sees the gun beside like the bed over by the table. So, and the lady's bedridden, and the caretaker supposedly owns the guns or has the guns. So, and he has plenty of them, right? This is what he's bragging about. So the way he's talking to the cop and to the lady, it's weird, because it takes you gotta reflect on what you're listening to. You gotta, when you first hear it, when it first goes through, the shock value can distract you from the truth of the matter. Like, that's what you don't want. Like, if you're skydiving, you don't want to be shocked to where you can't pull your darn cord. You know what I mean? You got to have your parachute. You got to come to your senses. You don't have time to be shocked. You know? When you're in a race and you trip and fall, you don't have time to complain, to kick yourself, to get down. You only have time to get up and finish the race. And the faster you accept that, the better off you'll be. Alright, so what happens is, this is life coming at you real fast. These people are showing you right here on national TV, because this was a news report. And what the thing about it is, in the news, they love to brag about, with signs and symbols, they love to brag about demonic dark stuff, forces and ritual sacrifices. They show you some gruesome stuff, some unnecessary stuff. All right, they expose their audience. through entertainment to different rituals and stuff. So what happens is, this right here, this old lady is in the bed, and she has told the cops to come over, to stay over there, or to take her with them. Even the old man told them to come take her away. So somewhere along the line, there's a demon, because you'll see what I mean. All right, in that room there is a demon. There's legion in that room. It's not just one, it's probably multiple, more than one, because the cop seems like he got possessed also, because he's acting real uncopish. He don't act like a cop. Like, he comes in with the body cam and everything, does a little talk, but he doesn't go through the same procedures that you would normally go through as a cop, with the information that he has and even is collecting on his own. Even by the assumptions, he should have stopped that situation, but he didn't. So what happened is, the cop goes over there, sees the guns, asks if everything's okay. The old man is just like, yep, everything's okay until I kill her. And then the cop laughs, says, oh, you got the guns? Says, oh yeah, I got plenty of them, and they're all good and ready to go, and they're loaded. And then he's like, yeah, I respect people that got guns or something like that. I'm a gun owner myself. And then they kind of chuckled about it. And then the old lady's like, please don't leave me here. And the cop's like, well, I gotta leave, I can't take you with me. And he's like, oh, she'll be okay until I kill her. And he's like, and they just chuckle about it. And then he leaves. 4 hours later, the neighbors call because the dude killed her. All right, with the guns. Exactly like she told the dispatch. All right, so what happens is, what you got to pick up on is, the fallen angel, all right, was in the room during the interview. Now, what you got to listen to is the character, the charisma of this old man is not like, it's unhuman. That's how you know you're listening to a fallen angel. Listen, here it goes. Check this out.
Nice. You're loaded. You're ready. Firefighters went to the home and they find Junan in a hospital bed. They ask about guns.
You're a firearms guy.
Oh yeah.
Nice. You're loaded. You're ready to go. We don't need to see him. I see there's one probably right there in that case. I see one over there. I like folks that have guns. Okay. Because I have guns too. Yeah.
While laying on what would end up being her deathbed, Junan begs for the police to stay.
We're going to get out of here. I appreciate you.
Whatever you say.
We can't, man. We can't. Yeah.
I mean, in that situation, what do you really do? Because
Okay, so check this out. Listen to what the guy says.
ultimately, you're talking about it. He said she's her caretaker. He doesn't appear to be what you think a caretaker is. I'm thinking like a home nurse we have not seen yet.
Yeah, we can't.
Yeah. Then this was said.
What did you say?
I said, you're fine until I kill you.
He's threatened to do that.
They then leave.
Please.
Get out of here. Go away.
All right. So what happens is, what you're listening to is the dialogue of, it's like a snuff film, sort of kind of like preview. So like Hollywood, this is a production, this is staged, this is broadcasted, picked up by the news and put on channel 7 news or whatever for these people, for everybody to see these fallen angels, because it's no different than what you see in politics when you see them just get up there and speak blatant lies, and when you see White House correspondents, arguing with the press and journalists, and people getting shut down left and right, you know what I mean, by just ignorance and bitterness and spitefulness. All right, and this is an example of that. This is taking good for bad and bad for good, and the result of it. All right, so these people, they revel, like, it's not the people. They receive benefits for allowing these forces to move through them. Okay, that's why they're in these positions in high places. If they don't do it, there's plenty of more flesh, so they just get fired and somebody will replace them. Okay, we're just gloves, we're just condoms, we're just temporary vehicles for these entities. All right, so what you're seeing, and that's how they're treating it. Like they're here to reap souls and cause torture. It's the only thing that they get off on. Loose, all right, and they work for Lucifer, all right, and so they're false light. That's why they're in a position of authority as if they are light. They're in a position of government as if they are light. That's why you see governments at war with each other, because it's like a seesaw. The legionist is going to pull the strings, and it's chess. You know what I mean? They're just having fun with the game of death. You know what I mean? It's comedy to them, almost like the movie Deadpool. How death is pretty much just comedy. You know what I mean? Like this is what they do. Like that's why all you see on TV is just glorifying it. You know what I mean? Everything you hear about it is glorifying it, because death and Hades are running the world right now. All right. So what you're seeing is a result of that. All right. Biden is a weapon of Hades, of hell, of the king of hell. That's his weapon. Like Trident, you got Biden. Trident is a 3-prong. Biden is a 2-prong. Okay. And Zeus, his weapon is a lightning. So you got Obama, that's Zeus. You got Biden, that's Hades. All right, and Trump is probably Trident with doing his thing. I don't know. And everything else as far as death goes, there's so much of it being pumped around in the noose. The noose stands for death in the first place. That's why you got an anchor man for the noose. What do you need an anchor man for the noose for? Huh? Because it's a noose. That's what a noose stands for. That's what the news stands for. A noose. You got an anchor man. You got breaking headlines lined up. All right. That's hot topics. You pick the top pick in the picnic. All right. It's every day. 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, sun up, sun down. That's what they do. They making nooses. They make nooses before anybody's even in the noose. They're just already prepared. It's lined up. Trust me. So it's scheduled. This is the media, Persia. Like, this is what they do. They worship death. All right. So just like the 300 versus Troy or whatever, yeah, that's how overwhelmed you are in a world of death. Everybody's out to get you. So they're gonna lie to you and pump it and brag to you and put it in your face, and so many traps and snares. But you gotta be like 300. You just gotta stick to. You gotta be tight knit, and you gotta love what you do in life and not get sucked into everybody else's stuff, man. Because that's what they're all doing. They're getting you to move off your rock and run in fear, and push other people to do irrational things. And that's what this is, man. Like, when people see this type of video and they see that this is what the world is coming to, and they can't trust their authority figures because they're possessed, hey, it's a purge. You know what I mean? So, like, people, like, that's what they're doing. Look at the old folks. Our elders are intentionally taken away from our youngsters to keep that. It's like putting it's like the light don't come on until the negative and the positive are both in the circuit. You know what I mean? So, like, if you take out the extremities, the elder and the youth, you're supposed to be the light. You don't work. You know what I mean? So that's the way I see it. Like, what are you working for? You don't got no. You're not building on nothing that the elders gave you, or nothing that's true, nothing that's tangible, and then you're also creating something that don't know where it's coming from in the first place. So you're gonna, even if you do correct yourself, you still got more work to do to correct what you created. So, like I said, your light still won't turn on. You still have a splinter in your eye, And that's what this is all about. It's about a double cross, man. It's all meant to cross you up, make you have a false sense of security. All right, because people are gonna go back and start picking up guns, picking up weapons. Like, all these people are tripping. I gotta go kill some people in this. No, man, that's out of the way. You know what I mean? You need to, like, as long as you're working hard to get what you need done, they can't follow in your footsteps. What your footsteps are meant for you. You know what I mean? But when you start putting on their shoes, believing in what they believe in, and start going in the ways that they go, you're gonna fall the way that they fall. But you gotta realize, hey man, they're here permanently. You're not supposed to be here permanently. But when you fall where they fall, like, pretty much you get stuck with them. You know what I mean? You fall the way that they fall, you get stuck with them. They fall like beasts. You gotta fall like a man, and we'll rise again. You know what I mean? That's what we are. That's the will. All right. They got people out there dying inhumanely. You know what I mean? Because of the life, like, it all comes full circle. You know what I mean? Like, it's not no accident that the decisions that were made prior to that ended up leading her to that path. You know what I mean? And that's how the way it ended. So you got to get a grip and see where you're going, man, like far down the road, not just temporarily short down the road, a few years from now, or anything based off of what you can physically grab or see or plan on. You got to plan on the things that you can't plan on, the unknown unknowns, as we say in Tennessee. You know what I mean? You got to plan for that, and that's an unknown unknown, where the lady calls the cops thinking that they're going to take her away from the dude because he's got a gun and he's going to kill her. And they come and congratulate him and leave, and then he kills her. And then they come back, and then even he tells them, why didn't you take her out of here like I told you to? They didn't listen. They got a false sense of security, man. Like, they look around and they don't understand that there's an expiration date on things. Things are a limited time only. Man is not perfect. All right, so the spirit of truth will not rest in man forever. It's only gonna be something that it stands for a while, and then there's a counterfeit that comes in while it distracts you and replaces it, and you won't know until the rug is pulled from under you and you got no rock to stand on, that like a thief in the night, you've been switched out. Like, you don't matter no more. Like, you're obsolete. And that's technology. That's the way of the world, literally. Like, people didn't see it like that before, but now that it's here, you gotta look at the patterns. Where is this going? You gotta know where the brakes are at, because this shit is light speed and faster than that. All right, man. You guys, like I said, you got to be a quick study on this stuff, man. Like I learned from constantly putting myself in high stressful situations. So, like, I can recognize when things are switching up like that real fast. Yeah, man, you guys need to recognize for your people around you. You need to be the eyes for your elders that don't got those eyes. You need to be the ears for the elders that don't got those ears. And the same for the children. You got the power. You got the ability. And you got the youth, you got the strength, you got the numbers, you got the influence. So don't let nobody just take your people away from you like that. That's stupid. First off, you put them in hospice anyway. You're automatically signing them over to leave. You can't be shedding no damn tears after that. I done seen people go from that, man. I done seen my boss's dad go from that. And then they talked to me right before they did it. Ended my contract with helping them out, take care of them. I'm like, why you got me taking care of somebody you're just gonna kill in the first place? That's what I didn't understand. All right, fam. So pretty much, man, like, I've seen this happen before, and just to see that they're broadcasting it like that on national TV, showing you the actual body cam footage of the freaking cop come into the home, witness the killer, talk to him, laugh, chat him up with him. And then the lady begged for help, and he leaves, and the dude said, get on up out of here. What the hell? Come on, man. if you guys keep believing in this beast system, bro, like I said, that's the way you're gonna get lined up and sent out. A false sense of security. You just right in her own home, bro. In her own home. It became a death trap. Alright? So you never know what people go out and come back with when they come into your house. You know what I mean? No matter what kind of rank or trust or relationship you have with them. You know what I mean? Live by the sword, die by the sword. So that sword was right beside her in that bed, just between her and him. So she could have pulled the trigger, he could have pulled the trigger, who knows? But for instance, whenever the gun is around, the demon is automatically coming. The demon is synonymous with the weapon, okay? The demon is the weapon. How do you think the weapon was created? The demon gave you the little vision to create that counterfeit of himself. Something that he could easily trigger your synapses to do, okay? Because those are his synapses, all right? So if you got it on you, he's going to activate you. If you got it near you, he's going to activate somebody with it, all right? So that's what that live by the sword, die by the sword stuff is right there, you know what I mean? And our sword is the word, is the truth, and that's the life, and that's the light, and they can't stand that. That's why everything about them is the counterfeit to lead you away from that. Because ours is real fire. Ours will catch fire and kindle and keep on kindling and until it spreads and encompasses all and consumes all things, even them. And that's what they're running from, the truth. All right, fam. You guys have a good night. Keep your people safe.